ScherBR is live, yes! Welcome, my friends. I can see Kai, Mac, David are here. How are you guys doing? I was just heating up some water. I'm gonna get some tea and try to fix this. Okay, so we are back for another banner talk because they just announced it, SaGa Soul banners. They were not totally expected. I didn't know if they were skipping these banners. It's good because we have Rose, that is a useful style for remembrance, and right now we don't have that many gun supports. Even with human male, we still lack. And then they made this banner even better. Yes, they buffed Poe, so that Poe is now even better than Asylums as a debuffer. Not all the time, but most. So we will be talking about them all here. I will wait a little more for more people to join, but we can short talk about all the units anyway. Tea in the afternoon, fancy. Are you turning to British? I can't. I wanted coffee, but I don't know. I felt some nerve pain yesterday, but I also eated, you know, pasta. So pasta also raises my blood sugar. I was having good control, but yesterday I was a little too hungry and ate too much. So there's that. Hello, Slug. Welcome. So, Slug, they changed Poe, and I still have one space for a bow unit in my party. I didn't get the latest ones, and there's no bows on Emerald Beyond as well, so we're not gonna get that many bow units, will we? Should we check the banner releases? Let me check here. Well, we will have lists, but that list means another list that will be replacing the current. But when you look on the banner releases, Rose was expected, but they brought back Pink Punch, that was skipped for a while. Okay, bow units, that will come. We have lists. This is a must. Then no bow units, no bow units, no bow units, no bow units. Yeah, the only next bow unit will be blue, in a banner that is not really needed. People love this blue though. But after this blue, no other bow unit for a long while. Really long while. Yeah, just Sheree when they started the 5th anniversary and a half. So how's Poe and Rose? I'll focus on Rose for ram battles. Please convince me to pull for Poe. Poe is better than Asylums as a debuffer. He's probably the best debuffer in the game right now, if that is reason enough for you. But you know, this lot for best debuffer is kind of complicated because it's still a case-by-case situation, but overall, with the right setup, he's the best debuffer in the game. Goes to Fragile for future ram battles. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking about purchasing some sheep packs and start to hoard some gens, because I think it's good to pull on this banner, especially because I don't have a good counter gun unit, so I have a need for Rose to improve my gun squad. And we will have other gun units, but not the same for bows. Bows will be scarce. They will. Since I skipped many bow units, it's okay. Poe is also buffing a bit for your party as well. He's really crazy. He won't be able to buff break. Yeah, but it's not like Asylums is always the best buff breaker anyway. She cannot buff break every turn. In some fights, we need to buff break every turn. The buffing mechanic will change when SaGa Emerald Beyond Anniversary units arrives. Tell me what will change. You convince me. I will try to pull Rose and Poe. Okay, the thing is, Poe was changed from mediocre to very good, because he had a interesting design, but then he had a limit. Sometimes they do this type of stuff, like Matcha. Matcha is very good, theoretically, but then you have to use spellcasters. If you think about ratio, I feel like not even 20% of the characters are spellcasters. Not even 20%. So you have to make matcha work with 20% of the roster. Not even 20%. I feel like it's just 10% of the characters are spellcasters. Could be wrong though. But let's say 10% of the characters are spellcasters. You have to make a working squad with 10% of the characters on a matcha squad. What I created for Paul on JP was that he was theoretically the best debuffer, but you needed to land weak attacks. So, like, the enemy is weak to blunt only. And then you have to bring a whole squad of blunt units to make use of that debuff system. Some bosses are weak to 3 elementals, but they are cutting that. You can see that the newest boss fight we had to bring only either Pierce or Cold. Not even bring some hybrid skills. So they are limiting our options. What they did with Poe was to remit his limiter. And now he works for all squads as a debuffer. And he's not just a debuffer, that is the case. He is terrible, terrible, terrible for damage though. He only exists to give you passives. I think we need to discuss it a bit, Cher, but it will require to take a look on those styles. Now, but you said that the system will be different. What you mean, the mechanic will be different. What does that mean? Tell me one style that you think can be used as an example. Hello, Capivara, welcome. How's it going? Doing fine. Still with cold, but getting better. Now we'll be talking about banner announcements. Some banner talk. You mean non-mechanic per se? Yeah, you said mechanic. Then I got confused. But the thing about, you know, Poe, it's really crazy that he became such a good one just by small changes. Still, it's a passive that he will apply just like the newest Ocelus. Before he attacks, this is a fast skill, Ocelus version is not. And it applies... Let me just check Ocelus again. It's not fast with Ocelus, right? No, it's not. No, Vesper Fall is. Yes, it's fast, sorry. Ocelus has a little more agility, though. She has 102% and he has 98. 98. Okay, so a little less agility, and he has fast skills, and he also has the overdrive mechanic to double the effect. But what is exactly this effect? Still, it's what he's going to apply. When all of your characters attack up to 2 times, they will debuff 5 status. Ocelus debuffs 2. She debuffs STR and intelligence. Look, we are debuffing also dexterity to cover for more ground. Theoretically, we're covering all ground, although enemy may still have MR skills, and MR skills also use agility. You are also debuffing endurance in view of the enemy. That will improve your damage. That will be 5% only. And then also a defense down. This defense down should be 10% defense down. But look, 10% defense down. Ocelus also had something similar. 10% defense down and activates 2 times. Those things are the same. Back to Paulus. He will also allow you to buff your same status. Just missing agility here. So even endurance will be buffed. 10%. Don't matter too much. And then you also allow you to buff defense boost. And that one will probably be 10% if I'm not mistaken from JP. I have to check this out again because passives are different and I was actually sometimes saying wrong values. Still, it's a single target one. 10%. That's right, 10%. That's already extra. All buff part and defense boost part are extra. And from overdrive, there's no limit to the cast. So that's because when you are using overdrive, you are not going to get an extra attack. You are just going to apply the effect. So he does have a chase attack that's pretty weak. And in this case, he will only trigger the extra effect from the overdrive once via the chase attack. Because you need to attack, and then after you attack, you open that steal effect. And from the steal effect, your chase attack will activate twice. If you are using any of his skill 2 or 3 though. I want to know if fast skills still go before the normal ones. Well, if you are using too many fast skills, then they will still have to fight with each other to see which one goes first. Sorry, I need to leave the chat, things to do in real life. Oh, sorry, Sluck. Have a great day. Try to come back later. Okay. Sorry, I only saw it now because I was talking. Oh, will also help you if you only needed to debuff a bit more. With giving OG for him as also allies. Yeah, there's a lot of effects with this character. If Hun is on the team, does fast Q go before the normal ones? No. Then it will all be based by action order. Only fast stance can override the delayed stance. Yeah, like Monica, fast stance can override the delayed stance. I want to know if fast Qs still go before the normal. No, we can test that, but no. I think I tested that before, and I used a fast skill on the rear guard focus formation alongside another one that was not fast, and the normal one went before the fast one. You could try that out. Use rear guard focus formation. Place 2 carrots in the back row. Use one with a fast skill, the other one without a fast skill. And sometimes the one that does not have fast skill will still attack before. Let me get my water. I know with the delay skill, it does not matter if the skill is fast or no, but I don't know if the same case for Hana. Rear guard focus formation is the same as Hana's passive, so you can use a delay formation to test. I know from my runs that what I said is true, but you can test to be sure. Also, let me say that we are live on Discord. I didn't say. Hey Mikustan, welcome. So, forget about using Pole with Hana squads. That totally doesn't work. Why would you try to debuff? Hana is your debuffer if you're using Hana. Hana is a very good character, but she's not useful everywhere. Hana squads are Hana squads. Polos... Pole squads will be Pole squads. But the thing is, this guy has a chase attack. This main volley debuffs agility. It's the only way to debuff agility. Acidos will still debuff more intelligence. She does more damage. She has chance to evade. This guy doesn't. Not that the chance to evade will be so crazy, but look, he has more stuff. He feels overdrive gauge on the start of the fight. He already allows everyone to attack before the enemy, at least on turn 1. He also gives a 50% overdrive damage boost, and also a 15 points of OG Gauge every turn. Not just that, every turn he also applies an attack down on the enemies. This is a AoE attack down. I think it's just 5%. I need to check this out, but I think it's just 5%. Yeah, it is a 5% attack down. Wednesday's ability and all 5%. And then a defense boost of medium effect to all allies. That is a 15% damage reduction to everyone. And then 2 BP. Just accounting from those two things here, he already has ways to decrease damage taken to the party. And then he also allows everyone to apply defense boost up to 2 times 10%. So it is a debuffer that also increases your resistance. It is good. I need to pull for a character as good as the one I skipped months ago. But that's how it works most of the time, Zadok. You skip generations. Poe is good now. If he didn't have this buff, I would not even think about him. I would say that he's trash. Imagine having to land weak attacks to work. They knew that. You know, this is gacha. That's how they sell new characters. By power creeping. But Asilus will be better for intelligence buffs. And she can hit even higher heights because of her chance to activate Vesper Fall. 37% chance to activate Vesper Fall. So she can apply more debuffs. And she has a Mirage Step skill that will debuff intelligence as well. So, higher potential. That's something that you need to understand. But overall, Poe replaces Asilus as the best debuffer 90% of the time. And because he also debuffs Dexterity, he covers more ground. Especially for the 7 Heroes fight, he can replace her entirely. If I get this guy, I think I can beat the 7 Heroes fight, even without Emperor. You just have to think a little bit about what I should be using. Because this guy only has pierce damage, see? He doesn't have elemental. Like, elemental damage is what creates problems when attacking the 7 Heroes. And that's right. They didn't do that much in the past, like releasing a character that works exactly as a replacement. Because Jamil can replace Asilus, but he has a different mechanic. In the case of Poe, no, he's stealing her mechanic. That's the same mechanic. You attack with a fast skill and then grant an effect that triggers debuffs. Same. You need Emperor Share, I have all the pieces set for Emperor. I don't know, man. I'll think about that. I don't know, when I try. I can't believe that Emperor is unreplaceable. But okay, that's the only thing this guy will be doing. Terrible damage, Asilus does much more damage. He does not buff break, Asilus buff break. Asilus can be buffed even further if she has good RNG. But he does offer more. OG gouge points, OG fuel, extra OG damage, more defense boosts. I'm sure Sumir Chin works now, don't need all the counters with the higher status. Maybe. Yeah, I don't think Emperor is unreplaceable. Sorry. Like I said, I'm still not good and trying to recover here. But that's already 10 days with a strong code. It will pass. Okay, we have 26 people watching. I think it's a good number to start talking in order, right? The thing about his character is that he has 5 EP per turn. He still needs help, but just a Leon is already enough to give him enough. And you're not going to use this character with Hana squads, because enemies usually cleanse the buffs by the end of turn. Hana is your debuffer on a Hana squad. Forget about that. 105% endurance and will. How much status we have with Asilus? 88 and 105. A little superior. 95% dexterity with Asilus because she has S word skill. But he does have much higher dexterity because he's a bow user. He's not gonna miss his attacks. We didn't start a discussion yet. I mean, not in the right order. I mean, we have to start from the top. Welcome, Chuchu. How are you doing? Music stopped. There is an ad running. Uh, okay, now I can hear another song. Let's start from the top, guys. I'll start now. So, there are two banners, Pink Punch and Pole banner. Pink Punch is Mart's user, and she has 131% agility and just 108% STR. Those values are pretty old. This banner was skipped, and it is from a long time ago, so that's why it seems a little old. They changed it to give her a 30% damage increase. Damage taken is reduced by 30%. Then she has defense ups 5 times, so eventually it becomes pretty defensive. We have 20% damage increase on other one here. And turn begins, she buffs all status to self only by 15%, 2 extra BP, and then a defense boost of medium effect for 2 turns. That is a 20% damage reduction, it says on JP. So, well, lots of ways to make her better defensively. On turn begins, she gives an attack boost for male and unknown types, and then a defense boost to male and unknown types. I don't know if she's considered an unknown, I don't think so, let me check. It's probably romancing SaGa 2 related, no? Rip Jans, Rose and Tsunami. Tsunami? Tsubaki. Needed for my rent to finish Megalith 5? I don't think I need Tsubaki. I was so close to beating. The status increase is probably already enough for me. Pink Punch is here. SaGa Frontier 1. Okay. The boost is 60% for male and unknown. She's a female character, of course. I thought so, but I had to check because, you know, this is still a fictional game, right? So, she would then be buffing 60% attack boost for males and unknown, but that does not include her. And how much for the defense part? It says 30%. Did they change that value? No, a 30% defense boost to males and unknowns. That's why she gets so much defenses herself, because she's applying to the party via this. Another way to restrict your party composition. Recover for all allies, and then when she attacks, she activates skill tree. Skill tree is an attack boost to self, and when attack lands, she buffs male and unknown as well. Double S power attack, really unnecessary. On multiple of 5 turns, she recovers as users of skill 2. Skill 2 is nice. It's a fast attack boost and defense boost to self with very high status. I think it's 50% for each. Defense boost, very large effect. Let me check here. They changed it. They gave this defense boost. It didn't exist on JP. Yeah. The defense boost is just to self, so it doesn't really matter all that much. He's already pretty defensive. Then in this attack boost, 50% increase for male and unknowns, and a defense boost to male and unknown, 30%. And 5 EP to all allies. So she uses this and recovered what she used, and then gives extra to everyone. But she needs to make a squad of male and unknown. Well, this game has more female units than male units. Unknowns are still, I don't know, probably 5 to 10% of this roster. Male units are probably 40% and female units are 50%. Probably share among that. But it kind of restricts your building types. And if you have Hawk, why would you ever need Pink Punch? No need. He can cast that extra attack and defense boost every 6 turns. She can cast her version every 5 turns, whatever. And the attack and defense boosts are somewhat similar to Hawk as well, but Hawk can trigger more if he gets hit or people get hit. So it's okay, because Mart still doesn't have that many support for Remembrance if you get her. But why would you pull on this banner though? No reason. Character number 2 is called Faye. This is an Axe user. They improved the SGR in endurance a little. She has Screw. Who has Screw? Tsubaki has Screw. Yeah. Faye, they buffed endurance and wheel are very similar to a standard now. You barely see characters with lower than 100. Sometimes you see 90s, but hardly 80s. They gave her more defenses and damage, an extra 20% damage increase because she already has 40. 2 damage reduction passives, one with 30 and the other with 40. Battle begins with 13 BP, and then she gets this follow-up Saturn Blade for 4 turns. Saturn Blade is that skill that Ellen can use that gives you 1 extra BP by the end of a turn. So in 4 turns, she's going to chase with this skill and then give a permanent 1 BP by the end of turn. When she's attacked, Masaki of Vengeance triggers that... let me check this out on JP because it's a little confusing. Why there's that part that says being attacked and then there's OG Vacuum Strike. When you are attacked, you get this chase on overdrive. Is that what it means? When being attacked, grants Sequel of Revenge. Yes, exactly. So when you are attacked, you get a stack of a chase that only happens with overdrive. Lasts for 4 turns, so you have to use it soon. But you're totally gonna get into overdrive in 4 turns. Especially, no, after 4 turns, she doesn't have the Saturn Blade anymore. No, Pretinha, no. No. Yeah, because she also has cover, and when attacked, she buffs endurance and wheel of everyone by 15%. That looks cool and all, but we have so many units that can do this type of stuff these days. She has extra damage reduction when people are attacked. And she covers. 37% chance to cover. Being attacked buffs STR and wheel, not endurance and wheel. Really? Let me check what people are saying here. Stack that triggers on OG, yeah. So she's like a defensive version of Hippo Lady. Kinda, but she needs to be hit to get. When being attacked triggers that. Being attacked, Masakari of Vengeance, OG. 1 time, 4 turns. But the thing is there a limit to get this chase? Because if there's no limit, it's actually pretty good. When attacked, grants and blah blah. No, there's no limit. That is kind of like the reverse idea of Mask. Mask wants other people to be hit, and then he gets a C power chase. She gets a triple S power chase, right? No, it's just S power. Well, remember that an enemy can attack up to 6-7 times in a fight. So that's not really bad. But still not enough to call her a damage dealer or a must-have. Yeah. He buffs STR and wheel. That's strange. Like Julian. Julian is STR and end, but end is when he attacks. STR and when attacked. But that part of buffing STR, it's nice because you are improving your damage. And also, buffing will when being attacked is better than when attacking, since you will be hit much more than you attack. So, nice. When she gets killed and she then revives. No, she then revives once with 100% HP. Yes. End of turn, 25 points of OG Gouge. Yeah, that is a way to fix so that she always have overdrive every 3 turns, or 4 at most. Okay, so yeah, she's actually better than I thought. Rating X Noon out of 5. It's actually better than I expected, Zadok. And we have like 2 damage reduction passives, so 30 and then 40 and then more if she covers. And then Cover with a character that has this type of being attacked passives makes sense, because if they are not already hit, then they can trigger from other source. But she does not taunt, right? She does not taunt. Big problem. If she had taunt, then she would actually be much better. She would compete with Julian somehow. Another problem is that she's pure slash, and slash counters are much more likely to appear than double elemental ones. We have Emperor, and Emperor is much better. Julian is still better. Oh, Mango, thanks so much. Mango Leaf Dragon donated 20. Where are the Mac banners? Nowhere to be found, my friend. Thanks so much for the help. Let's say thanks to our friend here. Send emojis and the likes. Thanks so much. Luis Mango. I can type Virtual Hugs again. And I can also type Mango. Thank you. We are just so close to reaching monthly goal. This monthly goal is to pay the bills, especially the rent, guys. The rent is on delay. Thank you so much. Uhana with the 20. Man, I have to pay my rent. This is my job. Hana does not pay the rent. I will get Hana later. But I will purchase some sheep packs and I will get Hana eventually. Before the banner is over, I will get it. She's better than I expected, but she's totally lacking taunt. She's trying to kind of cover for the lack of taunt by having cover. But that is not enough. That is totally not enough. Yeah, don't be greedy, but I still prefer taunt. You're not bad because when you are attacked, many bosses are attacking so much, and the wheel buff part and STR buff part are nice. So I didn't say what I would think about Pink Punch. I think she's more like a 3 out of 5. Really don't like this unit. But Faye is at least a 4 out of 5. He's a good counter, just not the type I would use in a bad banner still. You prefer taunt. Good luck against Dragon Knight. Cover works better there, but it's just one fight. Next Ren's column should destroy the one. I believe, yeah. What do you say, Zadok? 4 or a 4.5? She also has only column attacks. Yeah, triple S and 4S power. Second one has delay. And HP recovery. That one is actually good because having delay with a character that buffs when attacked actually improves the damage because you are being hit, then you recover by the end of a turn and then you do more damage because you self-buffed. Nah, at least a 4. Nah, she is good. It's not that bad. A Ren bait, yeah, but still good. She can work on hard challenge. You cannot say that she can't. If you don't have Julian, and even if you do have Julian, it's better to buff Will than to ban Endurance. But Julian does have double elemental, has taunt, it's better, but Julian was a 5. We're talking about a 4. He's much better than Pink Punch. Cannot say opinions anymore. No, you can. I'm just contesting your opinion. Aren't we here for that discussion? Ren bait banners. They told me you were gonna send me gens, El Chuchu. Because you keep cursing me. No, Pretinha. No, later. He does not counter, right? Yeah, that's right. But it's still kind of like, you know, that reverse Julian. The Julian that gets stacks when it's indirectly attacked. That is crazy because she's actually an evolution of that. Ah! Say hi. I know you want to say hi. Say hi, Pretinha. You are still the mascot of this channel. It's just that you keep using Feral Pounce on me. Right? He loves Feral Pounce. You should learn more weak attacks. Feral Pounce has triple S power. Be quiet. That's latest Julian before The good one. I mean, after the good one. This one, he gets chance to revenge when he's indirectly attacked, remember? The difference is that she needs overdrive and Julian will use it on the same turn. Has to use a delayed attack even. But I think that in this case, Faye is better because her attack is S power, okay, but it's for direct and indirect. It's when attacked. Doesn't matter if it's direct or indirect. Julian is not Mundo. Yeah. Confirming the Mega Leaf Cat. How is she applicable outside Ren? She will work, she just won't be the best one, but I am sure that if you were using Julian in a squad, she will work as well, even if you have to restart once or twice. She replaces Julian. Not entirely because, you know, Julian is still better. He taunts. Also, she works only when you can use overdrive. Julian is the best counter for Hana squads. She cannot work on Hana squad, another downside. She has to trigger overdrive, and on Hana squads you don't want people using overdrive. You can still use one of your 4 units for overdrive, but that is only if you're getting a lot of extra effects, and she just does damage on overdrive. There's nothing like, oh, let's get an attack or defense boost or healing or, I don't know, big buffs on overdrive. So, a replacement. I will not pull for this character, of course. I'm just saying that it's not bad, as we are trying to make it be because we don't need a character. It's a different type of strategy. In other words, Cher is going to pull. No, this is not really an improvement. Hana was a very different type of strategy. You can do 4 OD if you need Hana for the buff and extra buffs. 4 OD? Why? Only if you have a lot of extra defense boosts, maybe if Hawk in the party. You can still use overdrive here and there. Just if you can, yeah, if you can. And then the last character is Tsubaki, and Tsubaki has terrible endurance, C86, they didn't buff enough. Look, 117 dexterity. We have characters that are reaching 140 now. Those status are really, really terrible. She does have at least 105 agility. She casts this defensive stance that will decrease spell damage by 35 every turn. 35%. And multiply of 3 turns, she negates spell damage for 1 turn. So, every 3, 6, 9 turn, she will negate spell damage. You know that bosses don't use just spells, right? That 6 is still good? Ah, yeah, of course. GP Summer Style has the level of endurance as well. But they always buff those values for global. And she had Scrum Guard, now it's different. On turn begins an attack and defense boost off. The defense boost is 20%. The attack boost is 15%. Then she is now buffing ailment resistance, that is pretty cool. For all allies. When she attacks, she recovers 2 BP. And then always chases now with Gold Conductor. Gold Conductor is a good skill because it debuffs intelligence and also buffs will. Tsubaki is nice, but she's not the next evolution. She already had Gold Conductor from this past version. Look, it's a 9 BP skill, double S power. And will debuff intelligence by 15%. And buff will by 20. Yeah, because it's rank 1. Tsubaki is your anti-spell specialist. Yeah, but then we will get someone like Gustave that is anti-everything. So Tsubaki is okay, but really depends on the value of the banner. Damage taken decreases by 40, and when attacking, always debuffs intelligence. That medium should be 10% if I'm not mistaken. I need to check her on JP. Should be 10%. Yes, it is. So when you chase already with Gold Conductor, and you were debuffing 15%, right? Let me double check again. It would be 15% on rank 1. She will actually debuff 25% here. Back to the post. She already be debuffing 25% intelligence just without any other command. If you use skill 1 that already debuffs 15, then you're going to debuff 10, 15, 25, 40%. If you use skill number 3 that also casts Morale Down, you're going to debuff 45% intelligence. That's okay. Very useful. You don't need more than 45. I haven't seen any fight where we needed more than this. Skill number 2 clears buffs from target. It's a buff break. And a buff break is still debuffing 25% intelligence. So that's a very good buff break unit. She has 5 HP per turn, so she will need extra 5 in order to keep using this every turn, if that is needed or not. So, I like her. She is a specialist for spell fights. Still very restricted to that. Many fights we have enemies that uses all types, but that ailment resistance buff is nice. And now having this guaranteed chase, it's nice as well. Still not the evolution of anything that we are using, just another option to incline it for just one type of debuff. Especially because we can use just Poe, and that's okay. We are not bringing ailment resistance from Poe, but that is not always needed. Let me see here. She's Big If, just if you can. I'm not biggest fan, which you should be thankful because of the low endurance. Gustavo does not debuff and ailment resistance. Yeah. There's no this. But Tsubaki won't last long either, I reckon. She also debuffs 10% per attack. Yeah, you're right. The attack itself will also debuff, right? So instead of 45, it will become 55. And here it's how much? Let me do the calculation again. So, 20 plus 10, and then plus 15 and plus 10. 45%. No, wait. 50%. 55% debuff on skill 3. That is insane. And skill 1 is 15 plus 10 plus 15 plus 10. 50. Either 50% debuff or 55. And because she casts Morale Down medium, you can actually cycle skill 3 and skill 1 and then back to skill 3. If you don't need buff break, that is. You usually need buff break, but you probably have to use it from another source. That is a lot of debuffs, but you have to remember that Jamie already covers that as well. Jamie also has buff break. People that got Jamie also uses S's word, so you don't need to get Tsubaki. Okay, she is better because if you just want intelligence debuff, because of the spell-based resistances, but it's just kind of, clashing. She's a specific character, while Jamie is more of a specialist. Look, Jamie. She's a different type of strategy. In other words, she's going to pull again. Even with buff breaking, 35% intelligence debuff. It may be way too much debuff as well. Sometimes when you debuff more than 30, enemy gets crazy and uses buff break. Defy weakness, sorry. Look, this Druiden is still better overall because he can debuff a lot of things. Like, almost all status. Even agility, something that Poe doesn't. He also has Gold Conductor, but it's a 50% chance only. People with Jamie have no reason to pull for Tsubaki, I believe. Jamie had a lot of good buffs. But, some people may still want this for, I don't know, extra remembrance fights. But like Zadok said, Megalith Dragon barely has spells. I said Julian, sorry. You can inherit Gold Conductum from her passive style if you want as well to buff Will. Still, I don't think this character is the future. Tsubaki will Probably deserve a 4 out of 5 because of very big intelligence debuffs and all that nullified damage and stuff, but it is still ultimately easily skippable. I still think that overall, it depends. Tsubaki may be better than Faye, for those that already have cleared Ix Remembrance, or those that already have Julian or Emperor. So Faye value decreases quite a lot. Then, I don't know, Tsubaki may be the best with the banner. But sometimes Faye could be the best of the banner, with Pink Punch being the worst. Way too restricted and not much benefits. Silver? No, if it's silver, it's a silver minus. Just like the other Valentine banner. Cards that work, but are nothing special. Not a single one of them are meta. Okay, so what do you think? A silver minus makes sense for me, because it still means that all units are usable, just not top of the game or meta. Better that people should pull only if they are missing their replacements. You think a normal silver? Really? What do anyone else thinks? The Noon is very good on Remembrance. That's too much Zadok. Zadok Award. The song, finish it. Let me play it again. To be fair, even for Ren, the biggest one is Faye. The rest are okay. Okay, I play the music again. Copy. Hey, Thiago Travi. Welcome. Fala, Cher, seu lindo. Thank you for saying that. He said in Brazilian Portuguese, hey, Cher, you're a beautiful one. Thank you. So overall, pretty skippable banner, even if you say this has a silver award, because none of the units are on the top of the game. They are not the meta types. But moving forward, let's start talking about meta, right? We have Poe, and this guy was buffed to, like I was saying on the start of the stream, I'll have to discuss this again. But Poe had an interesting design on JP, but they knew it was already too good. They used a limiter so that he would never work so well. The thing is, he has effect called Steal. This effect called Steal, he's married. You guys really don't know much about my life, but eventually maybe I'll talk on day. Stop hitting on North streamer. Devs do make questionable decisions sometimes. They do, but overall, Steel is a very interesting setup. It applies a lot of effects. Look, it ends here. But it had a limiter in JP. You needed to land a weak attack. And we all know that many boss fights just don't have any weakness, like they are not weak to anything. So, like the 7 Heroes fight, like many of the recent ones, and even then, you don't have, you know, a blunt buffer for, or also a blunt attack booster, or a blunt damage dealer that also buffs, a blunt damage dealer that also buff breaks. You cannot think about that. So that's why it was terrible in GP. But now they removed the limiter. You can see here. You don't need to land weak attacks anymore. So this effect called Steal allows everyone in the party to do it 2 times. 2 times debuff the enemy many status by 5%. It's not like JMU that debuffs even agility. The only thing that's missing from JMU kit is the agility part. You also apply defense down. That's also found on Ocelus. I don't know if it's also found on JMU. Let me see here. No, it's not found on JMU. And then, besides that defense down, that it's actually 10% defense down. You also self-buff for the same values, 5%, same status. Apply a defense boost to self, decreases limitation by 10%. And this effect here appears when you are attacking on overdrive or when you are using either skill 2 or skill 3. It doesn't really matter the skill that you are using, to be honest, because this guy does no damage, really no damage. He does have a chase attack called Maining Volley. Maining Volley is this skill here. That was from a bow version of JMU. Maining Volley, it's deep power. Look, it's terrible. Imagine you use an E-power attack and chase with a deep power one. It does debuff the enemy agility by 10%. Okay. Just so that it decreases a little and your older cards can debuff. But you will always be using either skill 2 or skill 3 to give skill to everyone. The problem here is that his agility is just 98%. Ocelus already have problems giving that because she has how much? 102%. 4% more, and she still sometimes don't attack before some other units. She has Vesper Fall that is already fast, just like Poe. Poe has fast skills, as you can see here. Skill 2 and skill 3 are fast. He uses less BP than Ocelus, just 8, while Ocelus uses 10. But Ocelus also gets BP when landing attacks, and she actually attacks an extra time on overdrive, while Poe doesn't. Poe always attacks just twice. There's no extra chance to attack. So, he's a 5 BP per turn character, needing only 3 extra BP from an external source to keep using his skill 2 or 3. Theoretically, if he is fast enough to apply this effect to all other cards in the party, and they attack at least twice, you can debuff 50% of all of this status. STR, Endurance, Dexterity, Intelligence, and Will. 50%. And if you will use an overdrive attack, you can theoretically debuff as much as 100%. Is that okay for you? It is enough to reach 0 if the enemy does not use Defy Weakness in before they attack. That's why I'm saying that this guy is probably the best debuffer in the game right now. He just does not debuff agility. He is easier to use than JMU. And he will get into OG fast because I don't even talk about everything this guy has to offer. Like, he starts the fight charging Overdrive Gauge for everyone, so that you can already be the first one to debuff the enemy. He gives 50% Overdrive extra damage to everyone. By the end of a turn, he always gets 15 points of Overdrive for everyone. I have to check how much he gets when attacking. His attacks, let me check here. How fast he gets into Overdrive. He'll probably get to Overdrive every 2 turns. Po, where are you? Here. Okay. Skill 2 or 3 charges 12 points. What about the chase attack? 16. Let's do the calculation. 16 plus 12 plus 15. 43. You get 8 points when you are hit by the enemy. That means that if he gets hit at least once, every 2 turns he gets into Overdrive. So pretty easy to charge and apply the extra steal effect. But again, we're talking about a squad where everyone attacks. And sometimes we have Charade that does not attack, we may not debuff as much, but even then, most of the time, you'll be easily debuffing the enemies. And that is reason enough to use this guy. Besides all of this, he still gives that 5% attack down on a turn begin to all enemies, cast a 15% defense boost to all allies, So, besides the defense boost that you can apply 2 times via his passive, you already have a 15% one as well. Something that does not exist on Ocelus. It does exist on Jamil. Jamil has defense boosts, but it's random. It is random, you can see here. He gives a defense boost to himself and 1 random ally when attacking. So it's not reliable. Just by making 2 very small changes, they made this guy better than Ocelus and Jamil, in my opinion. Really. Okay, let me check the chat here. Share, do you remember the thing with defense boost small before 23 of May on Owl? Do you still think it's the same case on Global? It will be safe to assume it's 10% just for the worst. It used to be 15% and it's now 10%. That's what they said, right? I'm not so sure about that. The buff works like that, not multiplicatively, but linearly. No, it's multiplicatively. We will have to check and test to see if they change it for Global already. There are arguments that it won't deal damage, considering it will drop to the minimum limit volley to actually deal damage with certain stacks of defense boosts or ailment resistance status and volley. If you just keep casting more defense boosts, it just decreases damage, guys. The problem is that now, since we are capable of casting too many defense boosts, enemies already consider that you have at least 90% defense mitigation. 90%. It's way too much, but it's what happens in the game. You can see how much the game is expecting you to decrease when you get hit by something and die. We were playing recently, I don't think it was Spiral or maybe it was Remembrance. Boss hit my character with an attack after I was stunned. When you are stunned, no defense will work. And I got hit by 35,000 damage. So, 35,000 damage, to decrease that to 350, that's normal, that you can take usually, means that the game is already expecting you to decrease damage taken by 90%. That is a lot. Poe was released before the day, but it's not about Poe, it's about the game code. More and more defense boosts required in a short foreseeable future. And the way that they are handling this situation of we keep casting more and more defense boosts is by giving the enemy attack boosts. So they have attack boosts and hit ups to eventually catch up with so many defense boosts. That's why we want to kill enemies too fast. And sometimes they have special mechanics that will trigger even more attack boosts, even more hit ups, those things. So, Poe is pretty nice. I skip it Ocelus. I don't think that you need to replace for Ocelus or Jamil though. You don't need to replace them. This is more for those that skip it one of them. Just one of those 3 is probably enough. If you can beat this strategy with Ocelus, you probably can with Jamil, you probably can with Poe. The only difference is that you have dexterity buff with Jamil and Poe, and you don't have dexterity buff with Ocelus. They use different weapon types as well. One is a bow user, the other one is a sword user, the other one is a sword user. That's it. Both seems interesting, but I have Ocelus and Paulus. Paulo is a little different. I will say that they are a little higher than Paulus now. Paulus is not a 5 out of 5. He's a 4.5, I would say. He's still a very good debuffer because he can buff break every turn easily and allows everyone to debuff 5%. But depends on being direct or being indirect. There's a lot of problems with Paulus as well. So we never debuff 50% when using him. But sometimes yes, sometimes not. His chases are changed based on RNG as well. It's more for people that skip Ocelus and newer players. Yeah. But I really think that this guy is a 5 out of 5. When considering a debuffer, he is way too much. It is a lot. Really. Way too many effects, and this character will stay relevant for foreseeable future. I don't know how they will beat him so easily. Did they actually replace it Ocelus so fast on JP? Or Ocelus is better than theirs because they buffed our version. They are all 5s in my opinion. Okay, the thing is the content share. Yeah, depends on the cons, but the good thing is that just like Hana, all of these effects will always debuff when land. There's no reason to care about intelligence. He does have intelligence because of his skill 1. That's the only reason why he has intelligence. He applies this steal effect, and then you will always debuff. The enemy can keep casting will buffs if he wants, doesn't matter. They seem to be releasing a lot of bosses that don't let you use certain damage types lately. Yeah. Slash from Acelus, Pierce from Paul, and Jamil. This SC1 is a buff? Oh yeah, it's a buff. Why does he have intelligence then? He can inherit from his past version, right? Has an instant kill attack that I remember. Yes. That's the only reason why he has intelligence? Because of the instant kill attack? What a waste of status. Its attack lands debuff. It does not need intelligence. Ah, yeah, the chase can stun as well. You are right. But why? We never use stun in this game. We will on the next Remembrance fight, right? So he's a very good stunner for the next Remembrance fight. I know how they are going to make them better units. Just wait 2 weeks. They use it. When did they release Oculus though? Paul is now. Jamie was. Oops. Exactly 1 month ago. Oculus. 2 months ago. Not even exactly 2 months ago. Yeah, but they are not exactly all much better than one another. I could see that they would make a version that had more debuffs than Oculus, but even then it was... Yeah. I was not expecting them to remove this weak part of the passive. And look, JP hated Paul. He's not really loved there. Look at his rating on now. Not that now makes sense, but if you go to other resources, he's not even listed. Yeah, so this guy here is very good. Paul. The next one is Armik, and Armik is terrible. He's probably just a 2.5 out of 5. Really, really terrible. 100% endurance, 135% agility, 98% STR, and he is a debuffer with just 100% intelligence. Really bad status. 100% will, okay, just average with just agility being a little higher. This, I don't know what even this Armik is, maybe a squirrel. He has a 30% damage increase, and then he has 20% hit ups. So on turn 5 onwards, 130% damage potential. When he attacks, he chases with skill 1 and then skill 3. They changed it. It was just skill 1 twice. It's not totally terrible, because he debuffs STR and intelligence, you can see here. Because these ones are rank 1, he would debuff 10% here, 10%. And then he will debuff 15% here. So that is a 25% STR and intelligence debuff guaranteed. And he will always buff break the enemy for STR and intelligence. Usually, those are the main status that enemy self-buff. You don't see dexterity so much or agility so much. Agility is a big of a problem if the enemy keeps buffing agility, because we will miss. But yeah, you have to consider that he can actually still be used in some situations, right? 25% intelligence in SGR guaranteed as debuff as a chase. Guaranteed no, because he still has a chance to debuff. And yeah, 100% intelligence may not be enough, but I still remember, guys, Firebringer, when he was released, I said, my gosh, why is he failing to debuff? He was failing to debuff many times. Look on his intelligence. He's old. This is his first Firebringer. He was released on January. And Armik has the same intelligence. So he's probably going to miss, because it's a chance only. Poe is a guarantee as long as you hit the enemy. You're not gonna miss because of his very high agility, but your intelligence may not be so high. Okay, let's talk about something else. Besides, if you use skill 3, you're going to get 25 plus 20. 45% STR and intelligence debuff, or 40% debuff. And that is pretty similar to what we were discussing about Tsubaki as an intelligence debuffer. He just adds the STR part. But besides being a debuffer, it does not offer much to the party. When he attacks, he self-heals, gets BP, applies defense down. Oh, yeah, he has an extra STR debuff to the enemy. The STR debuff will be 10%. Instead of Tsubaki that debuffs intelligence, he then debuffs STR. So instead of... you're talking about 45%, 3 attacks, he can reach 75% STR debuff. Yeah. 75 or 70 from skill 1. That's a lot of STR debuff, exactly, right? Yeah, if that is enough. It should be enough, but depends on the enemy behavior. If you debuff too much, you may still trigger the Fly weakness. Higher values than James, though, usually, right? How about James? James debuffs 45% STR and then 30% intelligence with the use of skill 3. And he chases on overdrive with his 1 debuffing 30. So you can reach 75 and 30. No, actually he's not as bad as you think. How much intelligence does James have? 100% too. He misses sometimes. He misses sometimes. 100%. Maybe he's an improvement over James then. Yeah. Because he buff breaks Zeus' status. Not as bad as I thought. That's it. There's nothing else. There's skill 2 where we have a chance to debuff agility as well. The attacks are roll-based as well, not single target. This is extra. Nice. James is just single target. James on Thomas? Haha, where is James Thomas? Okay, better than I thought. Would I still pull for this Armic? No. If he appears, I'll get. But since he does not give anything else to the party, like extra BP generation, attack, defense boost, or whatever, he's just a pure debuffer. Much like James was. James would give you buffs, right? Yeah. When landing an attack, buffs STR, dexterity and intelligence, and also attack boost. Not that it would matter all that much, but it's still party support, right? So I would say Armic may deserve a 4 based on James' performance, but I don't know. Moving forward, this guy is easy to replace. You are condensing the buff break roll into the skill tree if the enemy is buffing STR or intelligence. Like Firebringer buffs all status. So this doesn't really help, because when Firebringer buffs agility, you're gonna miss your attacks. So you're doomed. You need a full buff break. I feel like this will be more of a 3.5. Moving forward, you have to offer more. The debuff value is high, Zadok. It's just that it may not even work all the time. 75% debuff. I really feel like the enemy is going to use the Fire Weakness right after, because we are going to reach their Zod. I don't know. There are some fights where we can debuff as much as we want and the enemy will do 0 damage, but it's not all fights. You're going to have to leave for now. No worries, copy. There's just Rose left. Needs new styles to beat Sparrow. It's hard. Which stage are you on, Lobonox? So probably a 3.5, right? Still, it's just because of that buff break, because everything that you may have a need, Paul already does. So why would you use Armic? Only if buff break is helping you. But it's buff break for just SGR and intelligence. Now, moving to Rose. Rose was buffed, but not by much. They just changed BP cost and a buff following. I think it was already 8 on global, no? Time. Call Rose is 8 BP. Yeah, he was already 8 BP on global. So, it also buffed Endurance, Will, Love, and Charisma. My medium on JP was small. That's why they went from small to medium. And now we are moving from medium to large. So Rose is very specific as well. Battle begins, she gives weapon enhance for guns. That is 50% increase in damage for gun wielders. Yeah, she only buffs damage for gunners. She's a total random. Even human male can be used on outside of remembrance, but she can't. She was designed to be a remembrance bait. 50% increase for gun damage. How do you make a full working gun squad outside of remembrance? You don't. Then Rose supply. On turn ends, if you are using a gun, you're gonna get 25 points of OG Gouge and self-recover. Let me just check what they say about this. She applies to everyone, right? Yes, to all. OG Gouge, 25 points of OG Gouge and recovers HP. And then also, on the start of a turn, if you have a gun, you're gonna buff your Endurance, your Dexterity, Will, Love, and Charisma. By how much? Endurance, Dex, Will, Love, and Charisma by 15%. And then 3 BP. 3 BP to everyone that uses guns. So all Remembrance squads now get extra buffs, extra BP, extra healing, extra overdrive points, and extra gun damage. A lot of effects. Those are all permanent. It will stay on every turn. Turn begins, 15% attack boost and 15% defense boost. If she dies, she then recovers HP of everyone by probably, I don't know, 3,000. Damage taken reduces by 30%. And when all allies are alive, damage taken is decreased by 30% for everyone. Singe 2.0. Yes! Singe also increased gun damage. Dynamic should be just like Liz Dragon's Blessing. You mean to become defense boost? No, it's still wired up. Yeah. Hello, Emerald Mero. Welcome. Guys, if anyone wants to support the channel, we are trying to reach the past month goal to pay the rent. It will be greatly appreciated. This channel survives mostly via donations because we don't get much via ads from YouTube. So any help is appreciated, but if you cannot, just click the like button. It certainly helps the channel as well. Okay, so the part of the Screw Guard, if everyone is alive, 30% damage reduction, and another 15% damage reduction, alongside Human Male if you got, you're pretty set for all future remembrances, but they will also release many gun units in the future. We won't have that many for a while, and then when they start releasing SaGa Emerald Beyond, we're gonna have a lot of gun units. She does not do damage. She's just full support. Skill 1 is 2 BP and HP recover for all allies. You spend 3, but then you get extra, so it's not really bad. She also benefits from the 3 extra, so she's actually a 6 BP per turn character. You actually want to cycle between skill 1 and skill 2. Skill 2 is Call Rose from Time. 8 BP for this AoE fast support that casts Guard Up Large. That will decrease damage taken by 35% for 2 turns. This does not stack. Don't want to try to cast this every turn. Although the Endurance, Will, Love, and Charisma buff do stack, they will buff up to 40% if you max level this up. And on the Megalith Dragon fight, boss will buff break you, so this part here is really non-essential. You just want the Guard Up part. And she already recovers everyone's HP every turn. Her love is pretty high, so she's gonna recover around, I don't know, 400 or higher because she also buffs love and charisma. And then you're going to recover 2 times from turns because of skill 1. She still has skill 3 that attacks randomly 3 times and then applies defense down medium. Defense down medium will apply a 20% defense down to the enemy for each attack. So even though she does not really do damage, she will improve the damage of someone. It doesn't say that this is fast. Let me check on GP if it is fast. It is not. It's strange. It should have been fast. Let me see her agility. Because when you are on overdrive, for example, you will want to use her first. Maybe use 1 turn before overdrive then, to guarantee. That is 60% defense down. It's nice, but look, she doesn't do damage. Forget about that. So full support for Remembrance, forget anything else. She will work on current Remembrance fights and all the future ones. But it's just that. If you care about Remembrance, okay. If you don't, the good thing about this banner is that we have Poe, and Poe, like I said, is one of the best debuffers in the game right now. And Rose is pretty much enough to help most people beat Remembrance Gun now. Even with Socho. Yes, even with Socho you can finally beat now if you have Rose and UniverSe. The other characters will be Leon, of course. I don't think you even will need to use Bike anymore. You can just use 2 damage dealers even. I don't know, T260G and Leon can use it and you can just remove Bike. Bike is problematic, even though it can give defense boost. There are other problems with that character. A lot of effects to the party. And the banner value is good because of Poe. Armic works kind of similar to James, a little better than James. So there is probably silver plus material here. Because Poe is as good as Jamie and Asimus. But not really beating them all the time. Asimus still debuffs more intelligence. Jamie still debuffs agility. And he does not. But he offers more defense boosts. So I believe he's a little better than them. A Silver Plus award for 3 units. Still skippable if you have either Jamie or Asimus. I would say you can totally skip both banners. If you want. Skipping week for most. Olia Jora, welcome. I know that you are happy that Pink Punch was announced. The thing about Remembrance Battles for me is that you're pretty much doing them for a weapon that mainly benefits Remembrance Battles. Yeah. Mono Squad. You cannot make a mono gun squad. Just don't have workable units. I suppose it also depends on which weapon type's most common in your party. Maybe during the SaGa Mirror Beyond era, yeah, maybe. Even a big maybe. We have to cover all grounds, like debuffs, buffs, healing, many other things. You only have few gens, happy to hear you can skip banners. Also, when using UniverSe and Rose together, you can even use UniverSe skill 3 almost every turn, I guess. And that will be 3 stacks of defense boost. Yeah. With his skill 3. That is a very big improvement for future content. And like I said, we won't have that many gun units till they start releasing SaGa Mirror Beyond. We won't have many bow units. So this banner value is higher than the first one because of the elements and weapon types. You can use it every turn with Socho anyway. Yeah, I will use Socho in my party, so. But I was not surviving because I lacked a reliable defense booster that was not Bike. But now everyone has Socho though. For those that don't have Socho, she will help their UniverSe. Getting Rose will help me. I will have to purchase sheep packs to get some free gens and try to pull on this one. If you use overdrive on time, then use Cal Rose. You can still get her in a 1 single pull. Socho is too old. Yeah, I don't have any other good counter. At least he gives VP to the party. So, Rose is good. Remembrance bait. Poe is meta. Poe is the only meta unit from all of these announcements. And even then, he just competes with 2 other meta units, so he's not really beating them all the time. If you want to skip, skip. Save your gems. There will probably be Romancing Saga 2 7 Heroes coming, or the stage banners. Oh, they are actually the same. They start with Eagle Maul, then go for... Let me check here again. What is this? Oh no! Pressed the wrong button. 8 stars, 7 heroes, and Joe. Opens with Barthélemy though. Here. Barthélemy... no, wait. Barthélemy... Here. Barthélemy, Eagle Maul, and Ludwig. And then goes to 7 heroes. This will probably be a very good banner to pull with 3 gems. Then Joe. We don't have Ocelus, yes. Meanwhile, there's few Sochis on banner that you have to give on. I do have the entire Tatiana banner though. That's really cool, Holiajor. Good banner to pull as well. The other issue of course, that will be the off-banner list for those 2 banners. Ah, yeah. SaGa Souls now. What were the last SaGa Souls we got in Global? I don't remember, man. It's been a long while. Yeah, JP gets reprints. Reprint of Slim Robin. Reprint of Petrarch and Tatiana. I don't even know how they work. If you can get other off banners that are different than the normal. Most people will skip Barthélemy banner unless they being buff. Then they will skip Polka's banner and summon on this banner. And then they will summon on both the 7 heroes banner and the Joe banner. Then skip a little if they release the SaGa Soul banner. And then summon on Gustave banner. Skip Rich's banner. Probably skip Tyler's banner. And then start spooling again around the SaGa Emerald Beyond banners. You can probably skip all of these banners here. Not so sure, I don't remember what they do. I'm back, so is it Silver Plus? Yes. That's what I'm thinking about. Sochis versus Faye versus Rosemary versus Skip. That's a complicated issue. Was it serious Sochis banners from the last SaGa Soul? You are right. Sochis and Sidious will make sense, so people that just summon it for the newest Sochis to be able to get the past one, right? But I think Sidious is January or February. I think it's February. If he was released on February, no, it's even March. Theoretically, they can add in if they want, but it's unlikely. It is unlikely that Sidious is on the banner. Really unlikely. For stage boys down to Liz, Brownie, Rock, and Josephine. Brownie is on a different banner. It will be hard to go for both banners. You have to decide on one and leave. Brownie is on Polka's banner. You just go for Liz banner and that's it. Can pull on both. Wagner's and will be better. Spear units, yes. We have 2 spear units on the SaGa, the stage 7 heroes banner. So what do you all think? I'm thinking about giving Pink Punch 3. Faye a 4. Tsubaki a 4. O a 5. Armika 3.5. And Rose. Rose is hard to grade. Will probably be a 3.5 as well, because she's totally restricted. And restricted builds really degrade the value. With the first banner being a Silver minus and the second banner being a Silver plus. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Tell me. Upcoming banners are skip. I would say that if you already have Jamie or Oculus, you can skip all banners, in my opinion. Rock has the advantage of still being active during the part of the life of Joe banner. Oh, okay. Rose is a 5 for remembrance, 3.5 out of it. It's a good way to say that. She really gives way too much stuff for remembrance. She gives 3 BP every turn, and then some turns she even gives 5. Fixes a lot of problems. We're not going to skip this banner. I will pull for Poe. Because I don't have a replacement for Asus. I have Asus have been using her quite a bit. Yes, I'm sure you are. I don't have Jamie, but you have Asus. It means that you can skip these banners, Emerald Mera. Do you care too much about remembrance? If you do care, then Rose is okay, but I don't know. I would say skip is a good option. There will be a lot of gun units in the future, but you have to wait 2 months. Hello, Sluck again. Oh. Did you hear what I just said about the gradings for banners and units? Would you agree or not? I don't have Jamion and Oculus, but I'm still skipping Poe. None of them are must-haves. Really? Nameless. Don't want? Skipping remembrances. Gotta save more gens for Han and Gohan. So I was saying, Sluck, that I will be giving Pink Punch banner a silver minus, Poe banner a silver plus. Pink Punch will receive a 3 out of 5. Faye a 4. Tsubaki a 4 as well. Poe a 5. Army 3.5. And Rose probably a 4. But remembrance utility is more important. Like Chaos Piper was saying that she deserves a 5 for remembrance, but only a 3.5 or even lower for older content. It's hard to grade her. But it's about that. Mac, welcome. I don't know anyone named Pink Punch is a must-have though. Yeah, maybe. I'll try to pull Rose and Poe for random battles only. Good reason to pull for Poe is that there's no bow units coming up in the near future till 2 months later. And gun units, kinda almost the same. Both weapons are on the same banner, so at least that increases the value. I still don't think this is a gold banner award, much like Tachi and Hana banner still offers a little more. Because Hana just offers way too much to the squad. She's better than Poe, but Poe also adds a lot without changing the whole strategy. Pink Kick next? Maybe. Your party has included males and unknowns, so the Pink Punch restriction is not 100%, but maybe just 70. Even then, you have to have a collector roster. Most all of the next gun characters are DPS besides Professor too, you think? No, there are some support units, but from SaGa and beyond. Like that BMX style is support. Scarecrow and Glass Guy supports, forming as a counter. BMX, where is BMX? BMX is Great Sword, I guess. No. Wait. BX10. I am Arts. I'm Arts, not a gunner. Gunners from SaGa Emerald Beyond, we have 5. Scarecrow. Bly is a lot of support as well. Bly is the best replacement for Rose. Bly is pretty far away though. Bly was released, I don't know, 2 months ago. 2 months ago. She's 3 months of far from now. Yeah, Case Piper. Fist 1. EX10 is a Mart SaGa, yeah. Future Hard 5 battles will be tough for guns and bows. And we just have support for both now on those 2 banners. I mean, on Poe banner. Support for gun, support for bow. If you care about remembrance, good banner to pull. If you don't, Formula will help too. I don't remember what Formula does. I know that she counters as well, but I don't remember what else. Counter. Offensive, defensive, blast. OG points. Down, stealth. Attack boost. Defense boost. Buff status. Defense boosts when attacked. Ah, but only small effect. 1 turn only. Start of turn attack boost heat ups. Okay. Yeah, looks like a good unit. Reactionary as well. Downs and buffs a lot. But she's also 3 months away. Or, I don't know, maybe they would change. Skipping these banners will give you some breathing room to pull for lists. If you are going to pull for both banners, yes. Definitely counter to stack more counter. No, to give more defensive stuff. Rose, Blind, Farming, and maybe Scarecrow. I feel like Blah is good if you skip Rose. But then it's more about waiting that much. They will release the next Remembrance fight next month. They may even release a 3rd Remembrance fight before we get the good gun units. It'll be September for SaGa Meow. End of September, start of October, yeah, probably. I don't know. Leon as well, if you can use it. Leon should still be useful. Only Leon and Human Mayo will stay. We'll replace all the others. Bike and everyone else. Hiveris works, but those with Hiveris can skip forming, I guess. I don't have Hiveris. Next, Leon. Yeah. Does the ranking for New Final Island means anything? No. You just get 100 gems per week and some materials that barely make any difference. But guys, no one said if they agree or not. Tell me here if you agree or not with this, because I'll make the video version in some hours. And we'll probably finish the stream. But we'll be streaming tomorrow. It's just reflex, Mac. You agree? I'm okay on skipping on these banners. Yeah. If I had Acelus or Jamie, I would skip on Paulus. And it will give me more reasons to skip on Rose. Because I don't have Hiveris, summoning for Rose makes more sense for me. But I would totally never pull on the first banner. Only on Paul banner. Save up. Saving is good as well. 3.5 for Rose because it's a Rain Battle style niche character. Yeah, that's why it's my first idea of grading. 3.5. Even if she's so crazy, it is still only one way to use the character. Like, you can use Yuma Mayo even on serious challenges, and he works, but she doesn't. It's hard to build weapon-specific squads. I feel like they will probably push more for that. They already have Remembrance, but they will probably create more characters that have this type of passives in the future. We already have elemental leaders and they are appearing a lot of time. I don't know if I'll be pulling on Reset as well, because I'm still going after Hana. So I'll pull for Hana and see where that leads me. It's still just the start of the month. We can wait as well to pull. And even if you're thinking about remembrance, you can do it till the last day of the month. So, my friends, I will finish the stream. I just want to thank you all for being here. As a general resume, you can skip if you already have at least Asulus or JMU. You don't need Poe. But this banner is good for those that like Remembrance fights because both Rose and Poe will add a lot of utility for the time being because they will not release many Poe and gun units. But Hana banner is still better because Hana has a little more impact in the game and she works everywhere, while these units are a little more hard to use besides Poe. Thank you guys. Thank you, my friends. Masamune says, on the top of remembrance, keep in your mind that your current squad might do better against the next couple of fights than the current one, because it's so specific. Depends, yeah. Yeah, I have to get the full belly. Yeah, hold on. I'm on 8 or 9 multiples and just Miran so far. Game is cursing me again. Sadly. But I wish you all good rest, friends. Video version will come before the end of the day. Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon in the next video or live stream. Goodbye. Get well soon. Thanks. Oh, the music stopped playing and I didn't even notice. It's because I don't listen. I had to check the panel and I didn't see. I didn't drink coffee, I was drinking tea. Yeah, before you leave, click the like button. Thank you.